This girl flew all the way from Korea to Bali just so that she could have a fun time with me. So you know I had to make sure it was worth her 6-hour flight. Spoiler alert, it was. Hey my fellow travelers, welcome aboard the Flight Madness. It's your Captain Danny Flight here, your favorite American who lives in Asia. As some of you may know, I've been in China teaching English for almost 10 years now, and the online teaching that I've been doing has allowed me a lot of freedom to travel. And for this video, your boy Danny was traveling to Bali, Indonesia. It's a place that's got me rethinking everything about Thailand, dating, and even the way I approach life. First off, Bali. What's so special about this place that so many people are coming here regularly? I've even been seeing a growing number of YouTubers ditching Thailand for Bali. What reasons do y'all think that is? First off, let's talk about the women. It seems that this place is a hot spot for white tourists who want to travel to a foreign country while still being surrounded by mostly other white people. Literally 80% of the people you'll see in Bali are white, and it seemed that a lot of them were Americans. I mean, if you got some kind of fetish for white girls, this place would be perfect for you. Literally over 80% of the women I saw in Bali were some variation of the stereotypical dyed blonde hair American girl who does yoga, eats all kind of gluten-free food, drinks vegan smoothies, etc. So this is the perfect place for you if you want a snow bunny who's traveling to Bali to find herself and have a spiritual awakening. Those aren't really my type of women, but I could be persuaded to hook up with some of the non-American blonde-haired girls that I saw there, such as some Australians. Some of them were very beautiful and looked like models. Honestly, I barely remember seeing any local women, besides the ones who worked at the local shops and clubs. That's one thing I really didn't like. But maybe that's because I spent most of my time in the fairly expensive part of Bali where most locals couldn't afford to regularly hang out at. Next time, I want to take a trip to Jakarta, as I'm pretty sure I'll be surrounded by many more local ladies. And actually, I did hook up with a local girl when I was in Bali, but she was a rich girl who spoke fluent English and was studying abroad in other countries for her master's degree or something. So she probably doesn't represent the general population. I've been living in China for almost 10 years, and you don't really have this problem of being in a town and having it overrun by foreigners. Unless you're specifically hanging out at the spots where foreigners are, you're almost certainly gonna always be surrounded by Chinese people. That's probably because the cities in China are a lot more difficult to travel to and get around compared to Bali. Anyways, Bali's dating culture is definitely much better than what you'd find in America, or possibly even better than China, depending on what your taste is. A lot of you guys in America complain about how difficult it is to meet people, even at the places where people normally go to meet people, such as bars and clubs. Well, the vibe in Bali is super laid back and slow paced, and it felt like basically everyone there was open to meeting new people. The foreigner population there seems a lot younger compared to other parts of Asia that I've been to, with a lot of the people on the party scene being young university students. And the people there seem to be just focused on chilling and having a good time, rather than working hard. That chill vibe seems to make the people there very approachable, as nobody seems to be in a rush to go anywhere or do anything. Actually, one thing that kind of annoyed me was how talkative the bike taxi drivers are. A lot of the time, when you get on a bike with them, they'll try to turn their head around and talk to you while they're driving. The roads there are pretty narrow, and there are literally hundreds of motorbikes coming at you around every corner. So I kinda just want the drivers to be quiet and keep their eyes on the road. Anyways, as you might expect, there were a pretty decent number of Asians from nearby countries that were there. I met a Korean girl when I was partying at one of the swanky beach clubs. She was going on some kind of world tour, and she found herself getting approached by a random American black guy. Your boy Danny splurged off and took her to one of the swanky restaurants at the popular beach club we were at. Hanging out with her was cool, and it kinda made me consider traveling back to Korea again soon. They definitely don't seem to have the hustle culture in Bali, and that kinda contrasts the environment that I see in Thailand, where there are lots of young entrepreneurs hustling hard to get their businesses off the ground while living on a shoestring budget. On that note, the internet there was pretty good. I do online teaching, and I was able to teach my classes with pretty much no issues. This is a big contrast to my time in the Philippines, where I was facing frequent internet outages while I was teaching. That was super annoying. Actually, one thing I forgot to mention is that this Bali trip started off a little bit rocky, as I had accidentally scheduled my plane ride for when I had an online class. Thankfully, my school was really chill, so they were fine with me canceling the class. In China, I live in a city called Chengdu, which is famous for pandas. The pace of life there is pretty slow, and the cost of living is pretty cheap for a big Chinese city. But I found that Bali was even cheaper in terms of food and transportation. I got a gigantic coconut, salad, and fruit smoothie for less than $11. This same meal would have easily costed me $20 in China, and also the food quality in China probably wouldn't have been that good. The food in Bali is arguably more healthy than what you'll find in Thailand, probably because they have a big demographic of super health conscious rich foreigners who are coming there, compared to a lot of the degenerates who make their way to Thailand. I've been seeing quite a few of the notable Thailand YouTubers making their way over to Bali and staying for a while. I think one of the reasons why is because the lifestyle is comparable to Thailand with a much greater emphasis on health and spiritual development. Thailand is great, but I feel like I'm in a more hedonistic environment there, where Bali is the place that makes me feel that I could reach enlightenment and break free of all my dark internal issues. Overall, I feel like Bali is the kind of place that I can go to for decompressing and focusing on mental health. Maybe I would spend 2 weeks at a time there just to isolate myself from the chaos of big city life and focus on business. So I definitely think I'm going to add Bali into my regular rotation of Asian countries that I travel to every year. And for you guys who want to be able to go on these kind of international trips on the regular, it really helps if you have your money right and are getting online remote income. One of the primary ways that I make money is with English teaching. English teaching is the fastest way to get yourself overseas making consistent income, and has helped me live my international lifestyle for almost 11 years. And I should mention that I've been doing online English teaching for the past couple years, which helped me to double my monthly income for just a few extra hours of work a week. If you're interested in getting involved with English teaching, scroll down and download my free Quickstart English teaching guide. It's a guide that will give you a fast overview of this growing field and will be a useful first step to getting you started on this international travel lifestyle. If you have any questions, feel free to send me an email and I'll be glad to assist you on your teaching journey. And that's all for today. I hope you had a wonderful day and that you too get to someday experience this Bali island lifestyle.